Hey guys, welcome back again. Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another video. Welcome back again to the channel that is your home for tech, toys, and talk. And of course, the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. Welcome back again. This is going to be another episode of Dimension Tech, which is a little series we're doing here at Dave's Dimension. Anytime I'm talking about anything tech related, it's going to be Dimension Tech. So this time around, we're going to be looking at something that I don't have an exact time frame of just yet, but it's something that I'm kind of planning to do once the outside world situation kind of, the employment situation changes for me. Once I get a few things situated, we're going to be doing this project, which I'm calling the grid. For lack of a better term, this is going to be a future project that we're going to be working on. That's right, we're going to be building a brand new computer. I'm very psyched for it, because over the past couple of years, since the inception of my YouTube channel, I have been using older equipment, for lack of a better wording. Maybe not necessarily archaic, but pretty damn close. Now, a couple of years ago, I had a bit of a Frankenstein of a computer. I mean, this thing even had DVD drives in it. The current computer really does. Now, the current computer I'm using, this past year, I had issues where I needed a computer. I had no computer at all. Fortunately, my little brother, my younger brother, had a computer sitting in the bottom of his basement collecting dust, because right now he has a bunch of toddlers running around the house, and he didn't want the computer being in any accessible areas for them. One, for the hazard of them like tripping and hitting their head, or God knows what. So he kind of shelved the computer in his basement for a couple years. It was a bit dusty, cleaned it out. It works. However, it's a bit antiquated in regards to today's computers. It is a 4-core Intel processor. Yeah, that's right, 4-core. I can play Fortnite, I can play a few games on it, but when it comes to trying to stream the same game through the computer, yeah, it just can't do it. It's running a NVIDIA RTX 970 graphics card. Yep, that's right. Do have 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM. Also, what's a very nice feature about this case is it's got storage for days. Like literally, you could put 5, 8, 10, or 12 hard drives in this computer, and it kind of works like a slotting system where you can literally take the side panel out, push a couple clips, and it comes out like a Nintendo cartridge, if you know what that is. It has a DVD and a DVD writing drive, so there's 2 optical drives in it, and it has a port on the top of it where you can actually pull a hard drive and plug it in, kind of like an 8-track, if you know what that is. I'll throw some pictures up and you guys can see what I'm referring to. But all in all, it's a reliable computer. I can do basic office stuff, but when it comes to YouTube, streaming, editing videos, things of that nature, unfortunately it goes at a snail's pace. And I have been having a few more crashes on the computer, especially when it comes to the graphics card. I mean, it's a good computer if I was just doing office work, the occasional browsing of the internet, streaming some videos, or when I say videos, I mean like watching Netflix, Vudu, iTunes, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I can do that. But when it comes to streaming, uploading to YouTube, a 30-minute video is going to take a couple hours for it to upload, and then for the files to convert, and it takes a while. Heaven forbid I do like an hour-long video like my Ride for Oswald video last year. It probably took 8 hours to upload, and it's not the internet speed. I have 300 plus megabytes of internet download speed. So yeah, it's not an internet issue. It's definitely a computer issue. So I reached out to a few different sources. One of those sources is Discord. I'm actually signed up on the Discord for... there's a amazing content creator by the name of BRAETHORN. I'm going to have a link to his YouTube channel and his Discord in the video description below. I have no affiliation with his channel or with his content creation. I'm just a big fan of what he does. He's someone that covers system integrators, anyone who does like pre-built gaming PCs that put, anyone who puts the parts together for you and sells you the computer already built, like iBuyPower, I mean, Phoenix PCs, I mean, Meta PC. There's so many different ones out there. He covers them, so he kind of breaks down the latest and greatest, what models he thinks are good, what could use some improvements, what are the best deals for people overall. Him and his community they're just a wealth of knowledge. And on his Discord, you can even submit tech questions, and even he does usually once, maybe twice a week sometimes. On his Twitch and YouTube, he will actually go live, and if you give him the information of what you're looking to build, he'll refer you to a specific system integrator, or he will give you a parts list in some cases. Now, his Discord, he has a lot of people on there who you can submit your what you're looking to do, what your budget is, are you looking for a certain color case, aesthetics, budget, are you looking for AMD versus AMD versus Intel, do you want a Radeon GPU versus NVIDIA, all that stuff. What are you looking to water cool, air cool? Are you looking for a large case, a mid case, all that good stuff? And I reached out to his Discord, and his producer, Mr. Cuddles, that's his actual screen name. Mr. Cuddles responded with an amazing part picker. And we're going to take a look at that right now, because this part picker, it fits the budget that I'm willing to do. And everything on here just looks friggin' amazing. He gave me this part picker right here. And of course, part picker gives you what the current prices are, what sites you can go to. Some may not be available, so you might have to do a little bit of manual digging. Some of the stuff some pricing is not listed here, so don't pay attention to that. But I've had to put everything on hold because, my previous employer let me and several other people go. So during the holidays, I'm without a job. Now, I'm not going to be dropping a couple grand on a computer, pre-built or otherwise, unless I have employment. I need to save my monies. Priorities. You have to adult. After we get a job, then I'm going to pull the trigger and we're going to be building this PC. Now, this is a case through Fantex NV5. When I saw this, I was like, okay, this seems kind of interesting. Because I want to do an all-white build. I've never had an all-white computer. I've had gray back in the 90s, and I've had black cases, but with the room that I'm in, it is like an off-white kind of eggshell kind of color room here. So I've gone to a white desk. We're going to be talking about a desk on a separate video, but this is the proposed build for the grid, as we're going to call it. This is an NVIDIA. Now, if you look at it here, I said NVIDIA, Fantex NV5. Now, if you notice, this case is actually on an angle right here. That's kind of trippy right there. It looks kind of cool. We have glass on the front, glass on the back that is seamless. There's no bar. These are going to basically create a seal once they're applied together. Or, if you're a fan, no pun intended, if you're a fan of an open build, you could just leave the glass off, which is pretty cool. This thing, you can have fans for days. That's what I'm kind of liking about this. I want to have a case that, one, has easy access, which obviously these do with these panels. Two, with plenty of airflow. You could have three fans going down the side right here, because I'll show you the other side of the case. So we can have airflow here. We can have another fan at the bottom here, another fan in the back, and then we can have our AIO, our cooling right at the top right there. So it's got ventilation for days, which I think is awesome. And look at the space in here. You could have, your graphics card, your GPU is going to be kind of like a floating GPU right there, which I think is pretty awesome. This case looks very trippy. I've never done anything like this either. Last time I built a computer was probably early to mid 2000s, so it's probably been a minute. It might have been like 2010s. I'm not sure. But take a look at this. This is from Fantex. They have the NV7, and I think there's an NV9. This is the smallest of those cases. Even a power supply goes on the side here. But what's cool about this is the other side. So obviously we have vents for days. You have your power supply bay right here, which is accessible. There's a grommet, because you saw on the other on the first image here that there's like a sloped angle right here. There's a little grommet that opens up, so you can run power cords directly through that. There's an LED right so this little casing right here, this little ramp that you kind of see, that is your housing for your power supply, which is pretty damn awesome right there. Let's go back here. Obviously, you can see vents at the top, all your controls right at the top. And what's cool is this case is designed for your RGB can be controlled all the way at the top. So you don't have to fiddle with additional RGB boards of any kind. Everything's kind of synced in. And it doesn't matter what fans you're using here either. And look at this. There's a hinge right here. This opens up so you can actually add more hard drives. Like literally here, let's take a look here. I think you can hold 4 SSDs or 3 standard hard drives. So yeah, I mean the possibilities are endless, and this it hinges out like a door, like your refrigerator door. I think that's pretty awesome itself, right there. You can tell everything. There's vents There's a vent at the top, at the bottom here. It can just slide right out. I mean, hypothetically, depending on your space, you could probably sneak another hard drive down here with like a 3M strip, although that's not really recommended, but you could. I mean, just everything looks, I mean, they have brackets for days here. This thing looks friggin' awesome. Okay. Now you can get this in black. Okay. So if you want that stealth build, you can get it in black, but I'm going with white. I think white looks wicked. I think it looks nice and clean, and that's kind of the aesthetic I'm going for. Now, there are some aftermarket additions or extensions or expansions, I guess you could say, that you can get for this. Like here, it shows you right here, airflow. Here's some examples. But here's the schematics I was talking about. Like 2.5 to 2.5 SSDs. You can get 4 of them right down the middle, or 3 hard drives. I love that. Here's your millimeters. You can go up to a 360, so you get your 3 millimeter fans. Now, hypothetically, if you wanted to, you could just have fans up here and swap your AIO down to here. That is something you could potentially do. But you got a bracket here for fans, a bracket here for fans as well. I mean, it looks like whoever designed this, which is obviously Fantex, but I'm talking about the actual individual who designed this. Man, they better get a friggin' raise on this. I mean, this case looks tremendous. Now, this is the expansion I'm talking about. There is a RGB kit, which is currently sold out on Fantex's website, where you can have RGB lighting going all the way around, kind of giving a Tron look. That's why I'm kind of calling this the grid. I'm kind of calling it the grid because we are Dave's Dimension, like the dimensional grid, but it's also got this kind of Tron vibe going on, and it looks wicked. It looks so sick. Now, obviously, these are Fantech fans that they use in the display here, but I'm not going to be using Fantech fans for budget concerns. So yeah, these are the expansions. They just plug in and snap in, and bam, they all connect. I just think that is friggin' phenomenal here. So yeah, I found this on Newegg. Newegg is the best deal right now. $109.99 and free shipping. If you go over to Amazon, it's going to be like $119 plus shipping. So, that's why I'm going to stick with getting this specifically on Newegg. Now, Newegg is doing a little combination where you can get a case and a motherboard. But honestly, when it comes down to it, I'm not really coming out that far ahead. Like, I think it might be like a $10 savings, really. But I'm not going to go that route. Now that we looked at the case, and this case is just so friggin' awesome, man. I mean, it blew me away. Now, graphics card. Now, I'm not going 4090 because I don't have $2,000 on top of the bill to do. Right now, Amazon has this Galax GeForce RTX 4070. This is a gamer white RGB. So this is a 4070. Now, mind you, I'm coming from a 970 to a 4070. Anything is going to be a quantum leap to me. Even if I was going with a 3090, it's still going to be a quantum leap. Now, some people are saying hold off until January or February because a lot of people, a lot of tech experts are predicting that we're going to be seeing GPUs take a price cut with the new supers that are coming out. I mean, you could wait, but I mean, 609 for 4070, I think is pretty good. Personally, I think that's pretty awesome. Now, this has kind of got like a silver white vibe going on. And yes, it has different RGB. We got RGB on the fans and also on the actual logo right there. So, and also what's cool about the case is the case there is a additional vertical mount you can get. So if you want to mount your GPU vertically, that is something you can do. So I could have it angled like as you see it right here, or have it on its side. Personally, I'm probably going to go with the side look. I have to, once I see everything and how it fits in there, I'll make the final decision. But I mean, anything's going to be a quantum leap. And considering 4070 at 609, so for $610, I think this is actually a steal pretty good. And of course, with Amazon, I have Amazon Prime, so there's the free shipping, of course. Or you can break this down if you want to do payment plans. You got your options right there. Personally, I think this is a good look. There is a 2-fan setup. There is an all black. And if you want to go like the Barbie hot pink build right here, there is a $700 one for the pink variant. So there you go. So for internal storage, I'm aiming to start off with a 2 terabyte M.2. Okay, this is now I'm looking at this one right now because this is 119. The recommended one is this one, Kingston 4.0 NVMe M.2 SSD, and this one is a 2 terabyte storage. And you're paying a few bucks more. You're paying about the other one was I think 119. Yes, so round it off to 120, and this one's 150. It's a $30 difference. Is $30 all that much of a difference? You can argue it. It depends on what you prefer. I mean, this is obviously this one, it will save you $30, and you can save the $30 for extension cables or something else on the PC. It is something you can do. So it's up to your personal choice, but I'm leaning towards these two. If one is not available, then I'll go with the other one. Now, additional storage. I'm still a regular hard drive guy. So I plan to get a 14 terabyte hard drive, at least one, that I'm going to use maybe for video storage, maybe for just old files, because I have old movies saved on the computer. All my music and everything is saved on the computer. And right now I have about 3 different hard drives on the inside of the computer. And I have 2 external hard drives. I could fit all that on this one. So, I mean, and for 123, I don't think this is bad. It might be kind of an off-brand with Max Digital, but, I mean, for the budget-minded, I mean, I think this is good for right now. I can always get a better, higher quality, and honestly, this isn't badly rated. 4 out of 5 is not bad. I mean, if it was 3 out of 5, I'd have some concerns, The rotation speeds, I mean, there are a lot of different options. You could go with Toshiba. These are some of the other generic ones out there. But personally, I think that's pretty good. For a 14 terabyte hard drive for 123. Am I going to mess myself up? We'll see when I do the build. Next, the heart and soul, if you will. The motherboard. The motherboard, guys. Gigabyte 790, Z 790, or Aorus Pro X. This is going to have your Wi-Fi on there, which actually my current computer doesn't. But I always say if you're a gamer, if you're a creator, if you're going to do any kind of streaming, you're better going with a hardwired connection, and that's what I'm about. Now, let's take a look at this right here. It's got that kind of... it's kind of white with a silver look. So I think this is going to look pretty cool in a white build. It's going to add a little bit of contrast, a little bit of zing. I mean, we got 4 USB 3.2. I mean, we have some additional, and honestly, if I need more, I can always do a hub connected to the back of the computer somewhere. We can always do a hub here. It's got your basic setup here, your basic interface. Now, what's great about this is, again, like take a look at this right here. This is going to open up. It's the tool list type where we just twist, and this whole panel is going to come out, and that's where I'm going to put my M.2. I think there may even be space for 2. We'll have to take another look at this, but it's got a very clean, very cool look to it. I'm digging it personally. Now for processor, right now what was suggested was the i7 147, the 14700K gaming processor, 20 cores. That's 8 performance and 12. So from I'm going for 4. I'm coming from 4 and I'm jumping up to a 20. Obviously, this is going to be a game changer for me. It's going to be a quantum leap. So I think personally that's a no-brainer. And of course, it says integrated graphics unlocked. But I mean, for the pricing and what I'm looking to do, I think this is gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be a game changer for me personally. Now, for most people out there, you may be jumping to 24, but I mean, I think for what I'm looking to do with gaming and streaming, I think this is gonna be good. This is gonna be a nice sweet spot. Could I go higher? Could I go bigger? Yes, of course I could. But is it in the budget? That's another question. I mean, for $400, 401.55, I'm going to go with this one. Now, there's other options. We can go i9s. We're looking at 575, 544, but I think we're going to be good here. I mean, you get 4 more cores with that, but I think we're going to be good with this. I personally, I feel good about this. Okay. So we're going to match that. We're going Intel. Yep, we're Team Blue here. I had one computer that was an AMD. Nothing against that personally. It was an iBuyPower gaming PC that I bought through Amazon. That was my mistake. I didn't do my research. I didn't know my information ahead of time, and that screwed the pooch with me. I wound up selling that computer about a year later on Facebook Marketplace for much, much, much less than I paid for it. The sad fact of the matter was, iBuyPower is a great company. They had amazing customer service, and I will praise it to the day I die. However, I bought a computer off of Amazon that, to my knowledge, I wasn't aware of it at the time. It was basically 2 to 3 years behind the current offerings of iBuyPower. I should have went directly to iBuyPower. I didn't know enough at the time. We live and we learn. We move forward. So that was my mistake. But I really don't know all that much with Team Red, to be perfectly honest. I know it's great for gaming, but I want to do gaming and streaming. There's some productivity I want to do. Plus, I've always been an Intel person myself, so that's kind of why I'm just going to stick with Team Blue for right now. Team Blue and NVIDIA. Now, again, we're sticking with the white aesthetic here. We're going with some Team T-Force. Some T-Force DDR5. Yes, we're going DDR5 here. Now, of course, I can always expand and get another set and make it 64 instead of 32. But we're going to start off with 32. And, of course, yes, these are rocking the RGB on there. So that's going to look pretty cool in here. I mean, the computer's going to have RGB all over the place. But, like I said, I'm going with that white aesthetic here. I mean, for the budget, I can get 2 of these I can get one set that's 2 sticks at 16 gigabytes a piece, totaling 32, for $104. It's on sale, 25% off. I'll take it. That's a win right there. Yes, XMP 3.0 and AMD Expo compatible. So yeah, it's compatible either way, which is fantastic. 6,000 megahertz. We're gonna rock these out. Now, power. Cable extensions. I might go with the red, gray, and whites. I saw this on Amazon, $25.99. I mean, that looks pretty cool. They have some brighter ones, but I kind of like this. You guys know I'm a Ghostbuster, so I mean, I'm kind of digging that aesthetic. I was thinking of going all blue, like the hoses on the side of the Ecto 1. Guys, if you know, I love blue. I was thinking of going with blue, but I'm kind of undecided. I want you guys to let me know in the comments section below, what should I go with? Should I go with the white, red, and gray? Or should I go with blue? Or should I go solid red? To kind of make things pop a little more. So guys, let me know in the comments section below. Please let me know which color theme I should go with. Now, fans. Now, there's so many different fan companies out there. There are some pretty sick, insanely awesome fans. They have fans with LED displays now. I shit you not. But if you're on a budget, these Thermalite TL-S12W, you get a pack of 3 fans. That's 3 RGB fans. Yes, these are RGB. It's RGB not in the fan itself, but on the frame of it, which I think is, I like that. It's kind of minimalist, you know. All white, including the wires, and you get a pack of 3 for $15. A pack of 3 fans for $15. Now the question still remains, hey Dave, are you sure that they're going to be trustworthy? Well, we'll find out, you know. It's something that we're going to have to test out to see, you know, just how well is it going to be. You know, I might wind up changing fans a month or 2 later. But for getting it run, see, we get the RGB, go, there we go. They're doing a little display. Show you how easy it is to put in. Yes, you can daisy chain them together, so we can just use one connection into the PC itself. That's going to be great. That's going to be fabulous. But take a look at that. We get the lights going right through the fan and through the rim of it. So I think this is going to work out very well. So I can get 2 packs. Okay, so we got our 1, 2, 3 fans that go on the side panel, and then if I get a second pack, I'm going to have an extra fan left over. So I'm going to have, from the second pack, I'm going to have a fan at the bottom and a fan at the rear. There we go. We're covered. We are covered right there. So that basically like $31 is going to cover us for all the fans for the case with an extra fan, just in case anything goes wrong. I think that's pretty cool right there. Now, power supply. We got our power supply right here. Okay. Modular power supply. So we can put that in, secure it, and then we can connect our cables right in there. This is an MSI, and this is obviously 80 plus gold. It's rated for 850 watts. There we go. It's also on sale for $134. There you go. So I'm sure I could do some searching and find a white power supply to go with the aesthetic if I really wanted to, but I'm not gonna. I mean, I think this is good for now. I mean, this comes highly rated. Now, there is one more piece that we need to find. Okay, now the final piece for this build is, well, we need air. We need some air cooling here. So we have this AIO here, and this obviously is water cooled. This is through thermal, right? So we would have the same kind of fans that we have. We'd have the same kind of connector style right here. Now, this looks cool. And look, it's only $65. However, originally when I first looked at it, it was around $78, and it's dipped down to $65. Now, either they wanted to lower the price, or that tells you the quality. Now, it is getting 4.5 out of 5. However, I reached out to a good friend of mine of the channel, good friend named of Berserker Bloodline, who has amazing game streams, so you definitely should check him out. I'm going to have a link to his channel in the video description below. He has a sick, intense computer setup. So when I got the part list, I reached out to him and say, hey, what are your thoughts on this, and this? He told me not to go this route. He says, don't go with Thermalite. He's heard issues with their coolers with some setups. I don't know the extent of that, but he's told me that people have had issues with the coolers. Now, obviously, they give you brackets for both Intel and AMD. They give you some thermal compound. Everything is listed here. So you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, Dave, okay, this is what's on the parts list. What are you going to go for? Well, as long as I can swing it budget wise, we're looking at NZXT Kraken 360. Again, this is an RGB, and of course, the problem with this is the fans are not going to match up. The AIO, the cooler is going to have a different type of fan setup than the rest of the computer. That's going to look off. If you're very anal retentive, if you're a person of detail, that might just mess with your heads a little bit. But I could always swap out those fans later on over time. That's always a possibility. Or I could switch out the fans on the cooler itself. Those are options. Those are options we have. And at $15 and change for a set of three, that's not that bad. But, we'll see what happens. It all depends on how the performance is. Now, why am I looking at this? One, NZXT is a pretty trusted brand. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, a lot of people use their equipment in builds. Now, let's take a look at this. Yeah, this is an LCD display on the friggin' cooler. On the motor itself, there is a friggin' LED LCD. We can put any image we want on here. We could have it where we're seeing the readouts, or we could have a picture or graphic playing on it. How crazy is that? I mean, that in itself is kind of intense. Here's a little video just showing like, hey, what we can see, we can have any kind of setup on there. I mean, that's intense right there. That is friggin' phenomenal. And if I do kind of a Ghostbuster theme, or if I do a Tron theme, I could have that kind of little video or GIF playing on that. And I think is it necessary? No. Is it a flex? You bet your sweet ass it is. And I just think it would look really cool. And hey, if I want to check the temps, I can take a look at the side of the computer without opening it up or going into any special panels or programs. And it's all right there. I just think it's a little bit extra cool. And let's be honest, if you're going to build yourself a computer, why not just go all in? Just go all in and do it. Just do it, huh? So yeah, looking at the case right there, I mean, like, or I shouldn't say the case, but I mean, there is a black variant and there's white. I just think that white looks really cool. There is one problem with anytime you're doing a white build, even with the AIOs, they usually have still some black wires that go, because I mean, you're going to have a power wire that you have to connect to the motherboard, or to some slot somewhere, and you're always going to have that. That's always going to be a thing. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, NZXT makes some pretty cool stuff. Is it always the top? Is it always the zenith? Is it the top echelon? Not always, guys. But it's kind of where I'm looking at. It's kind of like I kind of want to just go that extra step further. I want to take that extra step. And I am also looking at, as far as the thermal paste, I am looking at going with, I believe, Thermal Grizzly, the Cryonaut, for high performance. So even though a lot of these devices are going to come with the already pre-applied thermal paste, I think I'm going to remove it and just use the fresh stuff here and apply it. I think that's what I'm going to do. I may change my mind, but as of right now, I have this in my cart. It's $8.99. Sometimes, like when I got the iBuyPower that I bought through Amazon, there were temperature issues, big time. So I called iBuyPower's tech support. They were amazing. They took me step by step on how to, take the stock cooler off. The guy even recommended a specific cooler that was only $25. This thing cooled the computer down, kept it like around 60, 62 degrees, even when I was doing stuff. It was amazing. He was awesome. But we saw that, I even took pictures and sent it to him through support, through email, and he saw that like even the thermal looked like it was there for a couple years. This computer obviously was sitting in not favorable conditions in its original box. Probably wasn't a ventilated storage area. Probably is exposed to different elements, just sitting in a warehouse somewhere with humidity. The thermal paste was no bueno. It was terrible. So I ordered new thermal paste. We applied it, and it worked perfectly. So I think rule of thumb, I would like to just make sure that, if I get a cooler that's been sitting on a shelf for, half a year, who knows what conditions it is. I just think it's better to just have fresh thermal paste applied. I just think, me personally, my common sense, I just think that's a smart way to go. But yeah, this is the build for the grid, or the plan build. We'll see what happens because once the job situation is resolved, which I'm hoping is soon. I don't have. I mean, I'm doing everything I can. But once that's resolved, I will be pulling the trigger on the build itself. And this is not the only thing we're going to be doing. We're also going to be about 6 or 7 months ago, maybe 8 months ago, I got an L-shaped computer desk. It it does the job, but it could be better. I don't have that much. I mean, I have real estate from one end to the other. It's L-shaped. I have space here, which is great. However, there is one problem. From the back of the desk to the front of the desk, I don't have that much space. I really don't. If I were to measure it right now, which I am, let's just go right here. I'm going to measure it from the back of the desk to the end, and it's only about 19 inches. 19 inches is not that long. I mean, it's not that long, guys. It really isn't. And the problem is with that, let me just show you guys a little bit. Okay, I have this 3-monitor mount right here that takes up space. So right from here to here, the monitor down, and then there's a little bit of space, and then the keyboard. There's not that much space right here. I don't have a lot of real estate to work with. And you might be saying to yourself, well, what's the problem with that? You should be perfectly fine with that. Anyone could be. But my problem is this, guys. I also like to do props. I like to work on props. I like to work on crafts. I also like to have a good area of space from back to front. It just, because like I have, again, we have the keyboard right here. I don't have that much space. Even if I push it up right here, I only have limited space. So if I'm doing an unbox, it's not that great. I don't have that much room. And that's part of the problem, guys. That is part of the problem. So, we're going to be looking at a new desk. Now, if you notice, let's go back to the other screen. The other screen, I should say. If you notice in my cart, if I scroll up here, you can kind of see that there is a desk here. That's a $200, almost $200. It's just a desk. It's just a desk. Now, this is 78.7 inches. I'm looking at, realistically, maybe an 80-inch. I was looking like 75 or so inch long, but also the depth on it. Yeah, that's right. It's 27 and a half inches for depth. So I'm going to get almost, I'm getting like another 9 inches. And, giggity. And, it's more real estate. Now, this, one thing I don't like about this is two sections. So, if I have a camera doing an overhead, you're going to see that split down the middle. And, that can be a little annoying to some people, okay? Originally, I wanted to do a stand-up desk. But if I want a stand-up desk of that pricing, it's going to go up exponentially. We're not going to get into that. You guys know I get on tangents. We're not going to get into that right now. Okay? However, we're going to be doing a separate video where I'm going to be looking at some options on what I may potentially be doing. I've already been doing research, and believe it or not, I may be going an IKEA route. We'll see what happens. Because if you're already spending $200 on just something that's a glorified table, I mean, this could be somebody's, budget dining room table, let's be honest. It really could. I mean, this could be someone's dining room table. I mean, you can have a couple chairs here. I mean, and they kind of have, like, I don't like the white graininess that they have on here. I mean, if you like that rustic aesthetic, it looks good, but the rest of the table doesn't match with it. So if I'm going to be spending close to $200, why don't I spend another, let's say $65 or $80 on top of it and get myself like one of those IKEA setups? So we may be going that route, but we're going to take a look at that in a future video, guys. Now, I know this was a bit of a long one. I want to thank you guys for hanging out here, but what I really want to know is I want to know your thoughts and opinions on this part list. If you were going to do a build, let's say around between 2,000 to 2,400, let's say the ceiling is about let's say the ceiling is about 2,400, preferably 2,000. Ceiling has to be 2,400 at most. An entire build. If you have a parts list or you have some suggestions on something that is good for streaming, that's good for gaming, and that is good for content creating, such as video editing, let me know a list or recommendation in the video description below. Or better yet, you guys can always message me right there at Daves_Dimension or email me at davesdimension78@gmail.com. Once again, I want to thank everyone for hanging out, checking out this video. I know it's a little bit of a different video. We're trying to do a little bit more tech-oriented videos, but because of the current employment situation, I really can't go and we can't order things. Well, I can't order, collectibles, can't order a few things that we normally would do. So we're kind of doing some window shopping, if you will. So we're going to be doing a few more videos like this. I hope you guys like them. If you do, let me know in the comment section below. Also, let me know by giving it a thumbs up, sharing it to anyone you like. But guys, if you have any thoughts, questions, concerns whatsoever, you guys know how to find me. Davesdimension78@gmail.com or Daves_Dimension, or you can even find me on Twitter at Dimension Daves. But guys, until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying keep on busting. And you know what I'm going to say. I say it every single time. I will always catch you on the flip side. Take care.